All right, we're back at it. Rapid pool. I'm playing Ismail Tal. Uh, and it's their turn. So I reviewed all my talking about my YouTube channel here. I reviewed all these games from my recent tournaments, and now I'm gonna do a few days of uploading these rapid games. We're gonna see what does better. We're gonna see what people seem to like more. And then we're gonna go from there. Maybe I'll do something else. Maybe I'll upload some stream highlights or something. We shall see. Okay, but this game we have a London defense. I honestly was zoned out while I played all these moves. I think my exact move order here might be a little bit inaccurate. It's a little bit susceptible to maybe an early c4 or some of these trappy ideas. But my opponent did not try to punish me. So I'm going to go ahead and castle. And the point of this line for black is we are very purposefully not moving these two pieces. And hopefully I can show you guys why. Yeah. So white plays bishop to d3. Now that white has spent the tempo to develop the bishop, I can play this move bishop a6, using the fact that I have not moved either piece to offer the trade of white's best minor piece for my oftentimes wayward bishop, wayward light squared bishop. Okay, opponent goes queen to e2. I think generally bishop takes a6 is the best way to allow the trade of these pieces. The reason for that being my knight really doesn't enjoy the a6 square, and oftentimes I will spend 2 full tempi to play knight b8 to c6. So now I will be happy to capture this guy. Now the question is, do I want to play pawn to d5 or pawn to d6? So both moves are perfectly fine. The idea of pawn to d6 is I keep my structure a little bit more fluid, and very importantly, I'm preventing pieces from stepping to this e5 square. Obviously, the advantage of d5, I control these pawns a bit more, get my own space in the center. This time, I think I am going to go for this move d6. So the thing I should look out for is if there's ever going to be DC, BC, and I have some problem here, I gotta be on the lookout for that. Otherwise, if that is a problem, I can always play C takes D. So now, this knight comes here, this queen probably comes to D7, and then maybe over to B7 even, and then we'll slowly start to push on the queen side, maybe open up the C file, and play over there. Okay, I'm gonna start with knight to C6. Okay, h3 also highlights the fact that I had knight h5 available to me. Maybe this idea would have been smart. Okay, I will continue out with queen to d7. Okay, my opponent plays a4, so trying to hinder my advancements on the queen side. I'm going to play a6, but this might be a problem. Yeah. So anticipating that problem, maybe I'll go queen b7. But then once again, have to look out for d takes c. dc, bc, bishop takes here. I have rook d8. My opponent has knight c4. I have knight e8, and I should pick up that piece, right? Looks like I should pick up that piece. I think that should be fine. Oh, there's knight g5. I can take that. Okay. Because DC-BC, I'm not losing a pawn, I will continue like this. Okay, knight c4 directly. I will go rook f to d8. And this is just a transposition. I hope. I hope it's just a transposition. Okay, now I want to play a6 and b5. Hoping to expand. DC, I mean, I can consider capturing this other way. I can consider it. Okay, now after e4, I really think this is not such a dumb idea. Or I could go b5. Keep the tempi flowing, right? Yeah, at b5, he doesn't have time for e5 or any garbage because this move attacks his queen. So since this is so directly with tempo, seems like a good idea to play it. Yeah, AB, AB. Okay, I'll take here. I'm gonna have to play queen takes if rook takes a8 gets played. Didn't really realize that, but at the same time, it's not such a travesty. If rook takes, knight d6. Okay, I will take. So maybe knight a3 is the direction white should go, trying to hit me here. Yeah, I think b4 is my response of choice. Definitely b4. Hitting the knight again. The knight can come back to c4. Not a huge deal. And it's going to give me the tempo I need to react in the center here. Maybe it would have been a bit smarter for me to delay b5 another turn and just sort of solve some of my problems in the center first. It all seems a little bit too loose for my liking, what's going on here. But that's okay. Oh, I also maybe am missing some tactics. Knight c4, knight e4 type ideas. Rook takes d5. Rook back takes. Doesn't win material necessarily, but it might be a good change in structure. Okay, he comes knight b5 instead. Kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. So I think what he's saying is he wants to go e5 and bring this knight to some very nasty squares. But I don't think he's quite getting there like he thinks he is. I'm gonna play this move, allowing pawn to c4 if my opponent would like. Maybe d5 is more so the thing I should be concerned with. Probably this is the actual concern, yeah. But d5, knight a7, c4, e5. Looks weird, but it looks good, yeah? Yeah, I'm going queen a6. This might be awkward for my opponent to deal with. Okay, so this defends the queen to unpin. Can go b takes c. I think this is just a move I want to include. It's time to just start blowing shit up, you know? Now if d5, I have a tempo. If e5, I can just take and open this rook. Yeah, I just want to open everything up, and I think I want to reply with d5 now. This is how I'm going to free my pieces a little bit. Why now? Well, now if you push e5, I have this e4 square. At least I hope I do. And I think that that's just going to be a good square for my knight. You can try to, like, trap me somehow, like, move this knight, play f3, but it seems a little bit dangerous to get, you know, caught up in those games. The alternative is to do something annoying, like knight to b4 here, using the temporary loose placement of this knight to my advantage. And actually, does this just, like, win a pawn? Like, queen c4, I guess, is the idea, but then d5? So here, if you just go like queen e2 and I go knight takes e4, am I winning a pawn? Potentially yes. Potentially yes. We'll give it a go. We'll see what he does after knight b4. Because yeah, queen c4, d5 should be very, very pleasant. So tactics come from loose pieces. So that's why some of this stuff is cropping up now. This knight on b5, a little bit undefended. So given a single move, I can defend both my knights with d5. And I'm not sure how white is solving this issue over here. The answer, he's not. If you pin me, I have this move. Potentially just moving out of the way somewhere else as well, although hard to find a good square. Okay, maybe queen d3 is a bit more direct instead of queen d5, but I don't know if it matters so much. Yeah, I like queen d3, but nah, my knight's gonna get sidelined over there. Yeah, I think it's gotta be... Oh, I forgot I had d5 everywhere. Yeah, maybe it's just d5. I'm actually not sure. Not sure the best way here. Maybe it's queen c6. The reason why I don't like queen d5 is I really want to put my knight there. So queen c6, let's say queen e2, knight d5. Queen c6 takes, allows this rook to come in, but I just have like... No, I don't have rook b8, but maybe just bishop f8. Some threats are coming my way, but shouldn't be too difficult to manage. I hope. I hope. I don't know what... I'm like frozen. I don't know what to do. Alright, it's gotta be queen c6. Queen c6 seems fine. I'm just worried that in this endgame his rook's gonna be super active, and I'm not gonna be able to make my extra pawn be felt for a long time, but pawn is a pawn, you know? Also, this is like the worst 5v4 of all time for white. This pawn's gonna be weak, because it's isolated. I haven't really made weaknesses in my structure, so I think we should be doing well, as long as we can eventually untangle the pieces. Yeah, knight c6, if rook b7, I think bishop f6 is the way. Okay, now definitely this move. This is why I went queen c6 instead of queen d5. So if my opponent avoids the trade, my knight just gets this beautiful square. Now I want to go like rook c8. I want to make some luft and start trying to invade with my major pieces, get some trades, and then the endgame should be smooth sailing. Up a pawn. Up a pawn. Okay, just bishop d2. Sort of wondering about this move, but maybe that's not the best idea. Okay, let's make the luft first. Let's make the luft first. Can come here with my bishop, target this guy. Rook c1, I'll step out of the way. Just keeping an eye on these light squares that the queen wants to invade. On. Yeah, rook c8 now and start trying to come in. Rook c1 is not really a concern. Happy to trade. So note the pretty massive difference here between this pawn being here and this pawn being on d5, right? Like knight e5 would be happening, be looking out at these squares, looking out at f7. My knight wouldn't be on this square. I'd have to spend time to try to get it here or here. I think it makes a pretty big difference. Okay, I'm gonna go queen a8 now. Looking here and looking here. g5 don't scare me much. That don't impress me much. Yeah, okay. There's just not enough pieces for this to be frightening, right? All this has really done is weaken the remainder of white's pawns. So I can go knight f6. I can also just be like, I don't believe in you, and go knight f4. That does lose a queen, though, so maybe I won't do that one. Third option is g6, but I might be afraid of this move. Knight f6 is just so cowardly, you know? So cowardly, but sometimes you gotta be a coward. Sometimes you gotta be a coward. So queen d5 is on deck, evicting this guy, and yeah, I mean, 2 pieces on the board, it's gonna be tough to mate me, and once I get active, your king is gonna be weaker than mine, because, like, you have 3 isolated pawns, my pawns are nice and connected. Maybe queen b5 is the direction my opponent's headed in. Okay, queen c2 with some similar ideas. But again, I just have a very difficult time believing in any of this. Okay, I'm gonna go queen d8, or am I gonna go d5? I will come queen to d8. Up next for me is g6, king g7. Or in this case, yeah, still g6, king g7. I don't see a reason to stray from that plan. Queen b7, I'll come here. Check, I'll come up. Again, just not enough stuff to mate me. You know what I mean? Just not enough stuff. Now I want to come back to d5 with my knight. Maybe I'll play queen e7 first, just make this guy a little bit less comfy. No, queen a8, definitely just knight d5 here. It's just too easy. Too easy to play knight d5. Okay, maybe e5 was worth considering as well, but time is low, so we'll start making some moves. Yeah, I'll come here, and now e5 is definitely a major idea. Okay, queen e4 might make my move look dumb, but that's okay. Yeah, okay, I'll admit defeat on that one. I'll admit defeat on that one. Knight might be better placed on h5, to be honest, because I really do want to play this e5 idea, just to lock down all these squares. And that would make my knight on d5 a bit loose. On h5, it'll stay protected. Also stopping white from playing h5 himself, right? Yeah, e5 is the way to go. And now that I have e5, I will plunk this knight onto f4. And then again, it will be white with the weak king. Should be a little bit wary of trading too many pawns, but at this point I'm actually up on time, and I don't think this game is going to be decided on the board anymore. I think that time has passed. Yeah, I can just play knight f4 here. Queen g4 check is a bit too severe for you to take on e5. A bit too severe. My opponent agrees. Let's get these knights off the board. I'm going to offer a queen trade. I'm going to make a queen trade. And this endgame should be winning, right? Can try coming this way. If he comes this way, I'll go here. Take here. Yeah, that's the plan. Maybe I can just win with f6 directly, but this seems a bit better. I don't actually need to play f6. I'm just winning on the board now. Okay. And that's the game. All right, we'll take a look at that. See all the nonsense tactics that I missed this time. So first of all, am I right about this move order? Maybe I'm not. Maybe this move order is fine for black. b6. This knight c3 move, this is the trick. See, I knew there was a trick, I just didn't remember what it was. I think the way to do this, if you're going to do this, is to either go bishop e7 or d5. Then after h3, we can castle or play b6. And the danger of this move, I think, has largely passed. So let's see if I can find out what this trap actually is here. So if I just go bishop e7, yeah, it's d5 or knight b5. So in the database, they played knight b5 and drew. The computer is giving some scary numbers after d5. It's just very frightening. And if I go like d5 or something now knight b5, and this is just awkward to deal with. Very difficult to deal with. Yeah. Scary stuff for black. So, don't play b6 here. If you want to play this line, play bishop e7. And the difference now is what? What's the difference? cd4, ed4, and castles? Yeah, the difference is that we have castles available. Can I castle without cd4, I wonder? Nah, it's a little bit worried about this when bishop d6 happens, so that's why they're throwing in cd4, ed4, and then castles. And now we have all the same ideas. Bishop d3, b6. Okay, in the database they tried d5, but if they castle, I think I can actually go bishop a6 here. I can. It's giving white a plus after d5, so maybe what we say is that since white has committed to this knight c3 move, it is better just to go for this and play some hedgehoggy type of structure. Doesn't look too bad at all. Okay, so that's why my move order was dumb. But okay, b6 instead. And now after c3, yeah, it's all back to normal, right? Bishop d3, bishop a6. Yeah, queen e2, like I said, is a little bit weird. Just bishop a6 is much more normal. Takes. I went d6. Again, d5 is fine, knight c6 first is fine, but I went for this structure. So far so good. Oh, and I just could have played e5, winning a full piece. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been good. I missed it. My opponent plays e4, and now e5 does not win a piece. It did not like b5. It thought I should play this, when after cd4, d5 is strong. This makes sense. Yeah, I can just force my opponent to take this weakness, right? Would have been smart. I go b5 instead. We play all the best moves. b4 is good. Queen a6 is okay. d5 is coming. It thought the best way for me to handle this is either blow everything up right away or go d5, it looks like. After queen a6, it thought d5 for white. And I thought knight a7, c4, e5. Yeah, so I mentioned this in the game, and this is just equality, it looks like. It wants me to go h6 and then take. Okay, something really odd is happening. It wants queen f1, and then I can't take this because of rook a1. Okay. Sure thing, buddy. Sure thing. Okay, instead my opponent went rook d1, and now, yeah, just taking all the stuff was fine. I thought I should play this move instead. I had this tactic earlier. Okay. But yeah, after cd, this tactic does just work, and this is just very good. It hated queen c6. It thought queen d5 was the way. I was worried about just like, what am I doing, right? Just knight c6? Yeah, all my pieces are solid. Rook b5 is nothing because of knight takes d4. Big tactics. Okay. We did this instead. And yeah, I mean, the rest of this game is probably nonsense, but I don't think I ever lost the plot too badly here. Yeah, just winning. What I thought would happen in this endgame is king e3, and he would like meet me over here. And I would go like f6 at some point, takes, and then just like g5. And as you come this way, yeah, I come take this. And we do this classic dance. Winner! But instead, he just let me come around and take all his stuff. Not a bad game. Missed some tactics along the way, but felt like that's the way you want these games to go against the London when you play this line. You get those light squared bishops off. That takes away a lot of the danger for black in the opening. And then you just kind of slowly play. You know, you play on the queenside, you play in the center, you try to get your pieces in, and you target the weaknesses. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you tomorrow.